I've just bought this bike for 30 quid and we've got a challenge. We've got £100 to use and we're going to see whether or not that's enough to restore it.
Facebook Marketplace and eBay are littered with amazing bikes and they're going for fairly cheap. But I know what it's like. You see them, you love them, and then the doubt kicks in. This is surely going to cost me way too much. But this is why I wanted to do this challenge, to see if we can do it with only £100. Now, the brand Claud Butler has been going for years and it's got a bit of a cult following.
But unfortunately, this one has seen better days. Let's start with the positives.
Amazing colour, great group set, Reynolds steel,
and we've even got wheels to match the year. So we've got a new spot, we've got a new stand, and we've got a new build. But remember, we've only got £100 to use. Now I've ordered all the parts from lots of different places, so I don't know if we come in budget or not, but we'll find out at the end of this video. Let's get started.
So I've given the bike a quick clean and I'm now removing the accessories and the parts that I know definitely need replacing. Now the objective here is just to assess the bike in a little bit more detail and to see if you can spot anything that's actually going to put a pause to this build. It might be a crack or a dent or whatever it might be, but you need to be careful at this stage that you're not actually building something that's no good.
So we've got a blank canvas to work with now. We've got an issue. This gear shifter doesn't work, but that's not the problem because we're going to go for one cog on the front rather than three. Now I thought that I could remove this shifter, but I can't. It's actually connected to the brake lever. But this unit here is plastic, so I think we can get away with it by hacksawing it off and then filing it accordingly. I've just not got my hacksaw here, but we'll work with it.
Now this bike was ahead of its time because it's got oval chain rings on it, which kind of went out of fashion, but now they're back. Apparently they give you more power in certain positions, but we're not bothered about that. We want to convert it to a single ring, but it's worth noting you can't do it on every crankset. If you can't undo the bolts, that means it's riveted, so you have to get a new chain set.
So that's where I'm thinking that we can maybe hacksaw this down and it should be okay. Hopefully.
So the ties are on, kind of, and I'm just changing the quick release to an Allen key just for security. You don't always need to change your cassette. It all depends on how worn the teeth are. If they're really pointy and sharp, that means you do need to change it, but this one looks fine. I've used these pedals a few times. They've got a big platform, they're nylon with metal pins, and they've got sealed bearings, and they're not that expensive.
Right, it's getting dark and I'm freezing, but I'm going to see if the gears actually work. Let's see. You don't always need to get brand new stuff.
So I'm back at home and it's the next day and I'm just assessing the brake lever shifter setup. And it turns out that it's actually metal. So let's cut through that. So it's a bit dodgy doing this, but I don't think it turned out too bad at all. And I'm just masking it up with duct tape of all things, just to give it a quick rattle can. So it's quite interesting, this front brake setup. It actually goes through the stem, and I was a bit nervous about threading the wire through, thinking that it would be really hard, but it wasn't actually too bad. So we're on a budget, so I got the cheapest lock-on grips from Amazon, and on the face of it, they don't seem bad at all. The current seat post had black paint flaking off it, but luckily I had the same size but in silver. It just needed a bit of love, so he's giving that a polish. But as for the brakes, the pads were just not sitting right at all. These are like canty brakes, but they require road pads. It seemed really weird, but as you can see, they're just not sitting correct at all. Luckily, I had these canties knocking around that I could use. But if you were in this situation, remember that you need to change the brake levers if you were to go to V brakes, because the pull is different.
The bike is done, and I'd normally go out for a ride on it. However, the rain is horrible right now. It's just started. But we're going to check out the bike, and I've made some adjustments. You might be able to spot it behind me. And at the end, we're going to see if we come in budget or not. So what do you think to the bike? I think it looks wicked. The purple against the tan wall Billy Bonkers really pops nicely. But the question is, did we come in on budget? Well, let's work it out. So the grips, $4.99, chainring bolts, $5.99, chain, $7.99, bars, £19.98, pedals, $22.49, seat, $29.49, tyres, $25.98, and then finally the chainring, £45. Unfortunately, we came over budget by £32.42. We could have skimped out on a few things here and there, but hey, we all get excited. But hopefully you've enjoyed this build, and at the very least, this has inspired you to perhaps get out on your bike, or even maybe give a build a go yourself. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.